When you are wounded, whether by loss, betrayal, or life's inevitable hardships, you often feel stripped of your strength. The walls you've carefully constructed around yourself crumble, leaving you raw, fragile, and exposed to the harsh winds of reality. In these situations, it's normal to mistake vulnerability for weakness, since your brokenness somehow makes you feel less valuable or even worthless. The world around you, with its unrelenting emphasis on strength and toughness, reinforces this impression by encouraging you to suppress your sorrow, toughen up, and move on at any cost. This may make you feel exposed and insecure on the inside, like a tree that has lost most of its leaves after a storm. But keep in mind that you are still rooted and have the potential to grow stronger once the storm has passed. Beneath the surface of this wounded state lies a hidden truth, one that spiritual wisdom gently reveals to you. Vulnerability is not utter weakness. It is a profound strength. It is the state of being open to your pain, open to life, and to the healing light that seeks to enter you. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, illuminated the profound strength of the human spirit in his powerful book, Man's Search for Meaning. Drawing from his unimaginable experiences in Nazi concentration camps, he revealed that even in the depths of suffering, we possess an inner freedom, the ability to choose our response. Frankl discovered that by finding meaning in our pain, we could transcend despair and discover a sense of purpose, proving that hope and resilience can thrive even in humanity's darkest moments. One of the most profound ways the light enters through your wounds is by truly understanding the elusive meaning in your pain. Pain has the power to shatter your delusions and make you face realities you might otherwise choose to ignore. It strips away your pretenses, compelling you to look inward and ask profound questions. Who am I beyond my pain? What is the purpose of this experience? How can I grow from this pain? Pain can be a catalyst for discovering your life's purpose. Many people who have endured great suffering, be it illness, loss, or trauma, find themselves driven to help others, advocate for change, or express their experiences through art and storytelling. Their wounds become the source of their light, radiating hope and inspiration to the world. Bethany Hamilton, a professional surfer, lost her arm in a shark attack at 13. Instead of letting the tragedy define her, she returned to surfing and became a world-class athlete. She also uses her story to inspire resilience and advocates for shark conservation. The key that unlocks your heart and soul to the wonders of the universe is, whether you realize it or not, your grief. When you invite the light into your wounds, you transform suffering into a profound teacher. Pain, though heavy, breaks open the barriers of pride, teaching us humility and the depth of our capacity to endure. It softens our hearts, enabling us to truly feel for others in their struggles and recognize the universal thread of humanity that binds us. In those moments of vulnerability, we often find ourselves reaching upward, seeking solace in something greater than ourselves. This connection draws us closer to the divine, guiding us towards spiritual awakening, a journey where the cracks in our hearts become the channels through which grace and understanding flow. One of the hardest battles in healing is overcoming the lure of resentment, bitterness, and regret. These emotions act like barriers, trapping you in cycles of pain and preventing you from finding peace. Imagine you have to go through a painful breakup after discovering your partner's betrayal. At first, you'll be obsessed with rage and regret, mentally reliving the injury all the time. You'll be stuck, unable to go on, and extremely unhappy because of this animosity. What are you going to do to help these wounds heal? You have no other choice but to rise from your own ashes. You have to understand that your suffering is a fire that purifies and strengthens you. Through acceptance and forgiveness, you can begin to release these burdens and allow healing to take root. Acceptance involves fully facing your pain and acknowledging it without resistance or denial. By embracing your reality, you begin to integrate your experiences into the bigger story of your life. Acceptance empowers you to move forward, transforming what feels like defeat into an opportunity for growth. It's not about giving up, but about finding strength in clarity. And forgiving is the act of setting yourself free from the weight of anger and blame. By forgiving, you do not dismiss the harm done, but reclaim your power by choosing not to let resentment control you. It is a self-liberating effort that makes room for joy and light to return. Suffering is a universal human experience. Regardless of background, culture, or creed, every person has encountered some form of pain, whether through loss, rejection, illness, or failure. While our initial reaction to pain might be to resist or avoid it, spiritual teachings across traditions emphasize the value of embracing suffering as a teacher. Buddha preached that suffering is an inherent part of life, manifesting as physical pain, emotional distress, or existential dissatisfaction. Rather than being an end in itself, suffering is the starting point for spiritual awakening. By recognizing and deeply understanding the nature of suffering, you begin to see its causes, such as attachment, desire, and ignorance. This awareness leads to the path of liberation, where you can transcend suffering through the Eightfold Path, a guide to ethical living, mental discipline, and wisdom. In Hinduism, suffering is not seen as a random or pointless affliction, but as an essential aspect of the karmic cycle. This cycle, which is based on the law of cause and effect, asserts that the actions and decisions from past lives shape the experiences we encounter in this life. Suffering, therefore, can be viewed as a consequence of past actions, but also as an opportunity for spiritual growth and self-realization. Rather than simply enduring pain, Hindu philosophy encourages you to reflect on your experiences, understand the lessons, and use them as a means to evolve spiritually. Pain and hardship are thus seen as pathways to purification and self-awareness, helping the soul shed its attachments to the material world and progress toward liberation. While the idea of transforming pain into growth and light may sound inspiring, actually embracing it can feel overwhelming. Pain often brings confusion, anger, or despair, making the journey toward healing seem daunting. However, taking intentional, small steps can help you navigate this path with grace and resilience. Here's how you can begin to let the light enter your wounds. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the moment, accepting your emotions without judgment. When you experience pain, your instinct is often to avoid or suppress it. But mindfulness invites you to sit with your pain, to observe it as it is, without attaching fear or resistance. Imagine your pain as a storm passing through, fierce yet temporary. By staying present, you allow the storm to move naturally rather than fueling it with resistance. Mindfulness creates a space where you can acknowledge your emotions with compassion, which is the first step toward healing. Techniques like focused breathing or body scans can help you ground yourself when emotions feel overwhelming. Engage in spiritual practices. Spiritual practices such as prayer, meditation, or connecting with nature can provide comfort and perspective during tough times. These practices remind you of a larger reality, one that transcends your individual struggles. In prayer, you find solace in surrendering your pain to a higher power. In meditation, you discover a quiet inner strength and resilience. Walking in nature can ground you, reminding you of the cycles of life, growth, and renewal. Each practice offers a different form of connection, whether to the divine, to yourself, or to the universe. They serve as gentle reminders that even in your darkest moments, you are not alone. Serve others. When you are consumed by your own pain, it can be healing to shift your focus to others. Helping others who are suffering reminds you of the shared nature of human experience. Through acts of service, whether volunteering, lending a listening ear, or offering support, you create connections that benefit both giver and receiver. Service can bring meaning to your suffering. When you have experienced pain and choose to support others dealing with grief, you use your own journey to offer comfort and hope. In helping others, you often find that your own wounds begin to heal, and the light you bring to their lives reflects back into your own. Seek support. Healing is rarely a solitary journey. Often your pain feels isolating, as though no one else can understand the depths of your wounds. But reaching out for support, whether from a trusted friend, family member, therapist, or spiritual guide, can be transformative. Sharing your struggles allows you to release the burden of carrying them alone. In the presence of someone who listens with empathy, you may find validation and reassurance. Sometimes, just knowing that someone cares deeply can begin to mend what feels broken. Remember, vulnerability in seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's an act of courage that creates space for healing. Rumi's timeless wisdom, "The wound is the place where the light enters you," is a profound reminder that pain, while often feared and resisted, holds the potential to transform us in the most unexpected ways. Pain, though inevitable, does not have to become our identity. It can be a doorway, a passage that leads us beyond despair and into the vastness of strength, wisdom, and love. Our suffering, when embraced with courage and openness, becomes more than just a burden. It becomes a sacred opportunity for growth and enlightenment. Each wound, whether born of loss, rejection, or hardship, carves deeper channels within us, allowing the light to flow in more abundantly. The light may arrive as understanding, forgiveness, or the capacity to connect more deeply with others, but always it seeks to heal and uplift. Ultimately, our wounds weave themselves into the narrative of our lives, becoming markers of redemption and hope. These scars are not signs of defeat, but of resilience, evidence of how we overcame and emerged transformed. Through our healing, we are not only restored, but become vessels of light, carriers of inspiration and healing for those around us. Even in moments of deepest darkness, we must remember, the light is ever present, waiting patiently for us to open to it. It is in surrendering to this light, in welcoming it into the depths of our pain, that we find the courage to move toward wholeness. In this, we honor our wounds, not as sources of shame, but as sacred gifts that shape the radiant beings we are meant to become. If you are still here with me, it suggests that you have found this video to be useful. For more content like this, I urge you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I sincerely appreciate your time here.